Hello, Fear the Meerkat here, and welcome to another episode of The Titles on the Screen. I shouldn't need to tell you what it is. Now then, let's get back to where we were. I've forgotten what it did means. Must have meant something to me in the last episode. I know it's taken ages to get to this point. I've already talked to this thing.
Have you located any escaped creatures?
Can you come back another time? I'm trying to locate some of those escaped creatures and I can't afford to be distracted.
Okay, so I guess that's what he says when you went out of questions for him. Oh well. Or her, I suppose.
I'd like to see how Constable Lixie reacts to what we've discovered.
Yep, let's go up to Constable Lixie's office. That's a maze I had to check on that. It should have been fairly obvious.
Constable, we have reason to believe that Consultant Idia smuggled rare species into the preserve through his friend Aramut.
Are you trying to pick up where Dr. Hunforsh left off? She accused nearly everyone else of the same thing.
Consultant Idia persuaded you to hire Aramut, and he knowingly verified mistagged animals. He also uses neurotranquilizers, which could have stunned Dr. Hunforsh without triggering your surveillance systems.
Idia's been nothing but trouble since he got here. This time he's gone too far. I'll send for him so we can settle this once and for all.
Please wait here until Constable Lixie returns.
I don't know why the bird doesn't announce you every time you go in there. You'd have thought it would. Oh well. Hello.
Constable, we asked Consultant Idia to go to your office. He went to get some items, then suddenly beamed out. He seems to be gone.
He must have called Aramut for help. The Ferengi has a subspace transporter. See if you can find Dr. Hunforsh.
There's a woman here asleep with a gag over her mouth. Maybe she knows.
That's
He's the perfect idiot, this
Whip her
guy.
and send her here. And have a look around Idia's office while you're there. He might have left some evidence.
If you know there's a piece of paper with a confession on it. Something like that. The list of names that is going to give, fake names is going to give to the banned species.
Have you captured Idia?
No. Unfortunately, he escaped with Aramut. This Federation team was sent to find you. Perhaps they can help.
I'm Lieutenant Commander Data of the Enterprise. We will apprehend Idia and Aramut.
Forget them. We have to recapture the Mistag Sultus. It's already killed dozens of animals and destroyed several containment field generators.
The creature must be captured. Constable, can we use the force field at the quarantine shelter?
The shelter force field will not help us. The creature escaped once, and it will escape again.
Perhaps we can rephase the force field energy frequencies. The creature may not be able to adapt quickly enough to the changes.
That might work. But the only place we can rephase the force field power is at the main power grid.
I will go to the main power grid and perform the necessary modifications.
Good. The power grid is on the other side of the preserve. Take one of the shuttles.
I hate to interrupt, but just how are we supposed to lure this creature back to the shelter?
Since the creature requires energy, we can attempt to channel all available energy into the shelter generators. The creature should be attracted to it.
We can't. We're using all our energy reserves to maintain the biotopes.
The harmonic collector is capable of emitting high-energy EM fields. We may be able to use it at the shelter.
Yes, that should do it. V, I'll send one of the Watchers with you to the shelter to help set it up. If we can get the field power rephased, we might get that thing under control. I'll stay and monitor the situation from here.
Ah, more technobabble. Excellent. might walk a little further into the shuttle dock. Ah, there we go.
The utility trunk controls the field energy distribution to the waveguide conduit networks. The utility trunk controls the
Yeah, I got it. Can you use it?
The energy fields are responding. Frequency phasing complete.
Constable, has the harmonic collector been arranged?
Yes, but Dr. Hunforsh needs your help with the quarantine shelter. The only watchers I could find are needed to oversee the other biotopes.
We will be there.
Just one more thing. Zudan tells me those generators won't hold up for long, and we can't afford to send much power to the shelter right now. Many biotopes are already on reserve power only.
We will review the situation at the shelter when we arrive. Where will you be?
I'll be controlling electrical systems from my office. Then I have to call an emergency meeting of the Marassian Constabulary to explain just what's going on.
For some reason, although we clearly entered through there, we leave through here. Anyway.
Have you devised a means to trap the creature?
It's all set up, but I need you to operate those consoles while I keep an eye on the creature from here.
What do you wish me to do?
The harmonic collector's hooked into console 2. Once activated, it'll emit high-energy pulses to lure the creature in.
I'm not quite sure what she could do from down there, since if she tried to touch the creature, she'd be drained of electrical energy, but never mind. It doesn't look much like a giant reptile, does it? To be fair. Better do something else.
What is the next step?
Once the creature gets here, close the gates. The controls are on console 1.
I think it's probably already here.
What is the next step?
Quickly, activate the containment field, console 3.
Well, I feel like deliberately waiting for a really long time, but no, I will do it quickly, so it won't be boring for you.
We did it. Now what took you so long to find me?
The investigation was actually quite short in duration. Apparently your absence was not keenly felt. Constable Lixie had attributed your absence to a field trip.
She was probably still upset that I accused her of smuggling. I suppose I should apologize to her, now that I know Idia was behind the whole thing.
How did Consultant Idia learn that you suspected him? Did you accuse him of smuggling as well?
I didn't confront him. I was just looking for information. But after I asked him about the Sultis, he must have panicked and decided to drug me. I should have suspected when he invited me to dinner. He hates to hear people talk while he eats.
It appears the Watchers knew nothing of Idia's scheme to smuggle rare animals into the preserve through Aramut.
They were the ones who brought the Mistag boar to my attention in the first place. They weren't smuggling anything.
Apparently, Consultant Idia underestimated this reptile's appetite for electrical energy.
That egotist, thinking he could get away with it. Some of these animals are even from Romulan space. Did he think I wouldn't notice?
Are you certain the animals are Romulan in origin?
It would take more tests to be certain, but they definitely came from Romulan space. It's not surprising. Aramut does a lot of trading along the neutral zone.
What will happen to this reptile?
I'm sure Constable Lixie will want to send it back, unless I can convince her to keep it here. A creature like that doesn't come by every day.
I believe the captain will want to pursue Idia and Aramut. Will this incident significantly delay completion of the preserve?
It'll be a little behind schedule, but I have a few suggestions to help them speed things up.
Then it is time we return to the Enterprise. Good luck, Doctor. Beam us up.
Captain's log supplemental. Our successful attempt to locate Dr. Hunforsh has uncovered another mystery. Apparently, the creature responsible for the chaos on Marassia may have come from Romulan space. We are currently searching for the Ferengi trader Aramat. Despite somewhat questionable trading practices, he has never violated Federation law. Until now.
Captain, Tabak asks to speak with you.
Captain, I heard about what happened on Marassia. That creature you discovered, it sounds exactly like a Verenak, a Garidian creature.
That would be a massive
Except
coincidence.
the Verenak was exterminated long ago.
Again, gigantic
Get hold of an
coincidence.
extinct animal.
I have a theory. The followers brought many animals with them when they fled Gerid. It may be that this creature came from the followers' colony.
So
Once
if we learn where
again,
he got
a
the animal, we
gigantic,
may learn where the
gigantic
fifth scroll
coincidence.
is.
I think this is a promising lead to pursue.
Captain, we've found Aramat. Our Ferengi trader should be at Jaward 3.
Set a course for the Jawad system.
I know, it's annoying, I keep
Engage.
interrupting the dialogue. But sometimes the joke just begs to be made, I think. So, I suppose, I actually find it quite annoying, the fact that he's gone for warp 5 here, because it is actually pretty slow, I guess. It gives me some time to talk. But yeah, this pursuit doesn't take that long, but you would have thought that if there's any time when you should be hurrying, then this would be it. And there is one big weakness of the storyline, I think, which is that to tie it all together, you need basically a massive number of coincidences.
Space.
I guess there's a difference between the planet Romulus and the whole of Romulan space. So it's from Romulan space, but not from the Romulan homeworld, if you see what I mean.
According to Aramat's flight plans, he should have arrived at Jaward 3.
Mr. Data, report.
There is no ship in this vicinity. However, sensors are picking up subspace induction vortices headed for the Nygold system.
Set a course for the Nygold system. Engage.
I suppose I could have a quick talk now about which series I prefer and so on. I was never big on the original series. I suppose it's the mix of characters I like from the Next Generation, or maybe it's because it was the first Star Trek series I saw. I don't know, but it's always been my favourite. I quite like the way Deep Space Nine is quite political. Voyager I've never been that keen on.
Captain, we are approaching Aramat's ship.
Now, you need to be very careful to make the right decision here. And if I take the wrong one, then I guess I take the wrong one.
Mr. Worf, prepare a tractor beam. Helm, take us into range.
They have raised their shields.
Sir, we will be unable to use the tractor beam while their shields are raised.
Unfortunately, nope, you can't save.
Shields up, Mr. Worf. Lock phasers.
Captain, they are activating their warp drive.
They are attempting to flee. At maximum speed, they will be out of range in 12 seconds.
Well then, it might be a good idea for you to not spend 12 seconds telling us that.
We cannot allow that, Mr. Worf. Prepare to fire a warning shot. Lock phasers, 5% power. Fire.
Firing phasers.
Direct hit. No damage.
We are being hailed.
What's the meaning of this? How dare you fire upon a helpless tradesman? I am Aramat, an honest Ferengi trader. I am not a criminal. Why does the Federation persecute me?
You are wanted for smuggling. You will accompany us to the nearest starbase where you will be turned over to the proper authorities.
Accusations require proof, Captain. I do not think Starfleet Command would enjoy hearing how you bullied a defenseless trader, based only upon your suspicions.
Your last shipment to Marassia included several protected species banned from import under Federation law.
Nonsense. All of my animals are perfectly legal.
The animals listed in your records may have been legitimate, Aramat, but those weren't the ones you shipped. The restricted species were deliberately mistagged.
This is a terrible shock to me, Captain. My suppliers must have substituted the illegal animals to fill their orders. It is a sad thing when a supplier cheats an honest businessman like myself. I'm glad we could clear up this misunderstanding so quickly. If that is all, I'll be on my way.
Perhaps the Romulans would be interested to learn that several of the species you transported came from their space. I think I'll send them a report. You do know what Romulans do to smugglers, don't you?
What lies are you spreading, human? I didn't take any Romulan species. They were from Frigis.
Well, if we're mistaken, I'm sure you can explain everything to the Romulans when they find you.
I am sure we can negotiate a deal, Captain Picard.
The only thing I'm willing to negotiate is your surrender, as well as Idia's.
You can take Idia, but I can tell you much in exchange for my freedom. Perhaps you'd be interested in some unusual movements of the Romulan fleet.
Mr. Data, transmit the coordinates of the brig so that Aramat can beam Idia to his new quarters. All right, Aramat, you've got a deal.
Done then. It is a fair exchange. You may have Idia and my shipping records immediately. Now, for the information you have purchased. I hear reports from the other side of the neutral zone, not that I have ever been there, of course, about a massive refit of the Romulan fleet.
What kind of refit?
They've upgraded the warp coils and added secondary power cores to many warbirds. The weapons systems suffer, of course. It may even impair cloaking ability, but they could easily outlast any Federation vessel at maximum warp.
It sounds as if the Romulans are in a race, one they want to win very badly.
Who can say what the Empire does or does not want? But a merchant always watches the spending habits of potential customers. For example, there has been a sharp rise in the price of ancient Takan and Chodak relics in sectors near the neutral zone.
Interesting information, if it's true.
I would never cheat you, Captain. Now, this has been very entertaining, but I do have other customers.
The Ferengi is moving away. Warp 5.
Let him go. We have what we came for.
Captain, the report on Aramat's shipment is in the computer. Apparently the animals which Dr. Hune Forge thought were from Romulan space actually came from Shoniosho Epsilon 6, uncharted territory.
I'll be sure to look at that report soon, Number One.
There's more, Captain. We can check on those animals in the Federation morphology database. These creatures are definitely related to species from Gareth. Shanoishu Epsilon 6, or Frigis, as Aramut calls it, might just be our lost Garidian colony.
Be sure to alert our guests. Lay in a course for Shanoisho Epsilon 6, Warp 5.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
I've got a feeling that you have to do some of that conversation yourself between you and Almut if you play on a hard difficulty setting. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think you probably do. See, look, we've still got 45 light years to go. This is going to take ages. So yeah, as I was saying, Voyager, I don't know, again, maybe it was a mix of characters. Maybe I was just getting bored of Star Trek by that point. I think with the original series, I was never really... I was never really into it. I suppose... I'm not sure. Well, since I can't think of a reason why I didn't like it, then let's just say I didn't like it, and leave it at that.
Entering Federation space.
So yeah, it's taking me a long time to upload these Star Trek episodes because I've decided to upload them a couple of days after uploading Legend of Zelda Let's Play, but that means I need to wait until the Legend of Zelda one is done.
Standard orbit.
Captain's log supplemental. The Enterprise has arrived at the Shono Isho Epsilon system, where according to Aramat's data, we expected to find the world where the followers settled. However, our sensors show no Class M planets in the system at all. Data, is it possible there's something we missed?
I can attempt to enhance the scan matrix. That may increase our sensor resolution.
Make it so.
Aramot is a Ferengi. Maybe he altered his navigational logs to throw us off the track.
That is a possibility. There is physical evidence, however, that Aramot did visit this system.
What sort of evidence, Mr. Data?
The hull of Aramot's ship had recently been irradiated by chromaton particles. Shono Isho Epsilon is the only star in this sector that emits chromaton particles.
I don't think Aramot was lying to us about this location, Captain. I do sense life out there, but it's hard to be more specific at this distance.
If the followers are out there, how do you propose we locate them?
These are people who fled from persecution on Garrod. They might be hiding deliberately. It may be better to let them locate us by sending out a general message of friendship. Perhaps one of our passengers could think of something that would encourage the followers to respond.
And at last, Troy has said something that's actually helpful.
We've arrived at Aramot's coordinates, but if the followers are here, they're hiding. Do you suppose they'd respond to a message of friendship?
Perhaps they would pay attention to someone who quoted the lawgiver. Captain, if you patch me through your comm system, I could send out an appropriate message.
Make it so.
Aye, Captain.
And when the lawgiver left Garrod, he said of the ruling council, "They have taken my words and engraved them backwards."
Well, there's no response to this. This is going to be a very short Let's Play.
There is no response, sir.
Well, it was worth a try.
Yep. Actually, don't leave. You might be tempted to, but,
Sir, we are
no.
being hailed.
Who is this that knows the lawgiver's lament?
I am Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
I shall need more information before I can trust you. Tell me more about yourself.
We represent the United Federation of Planets. We are on a mission of peace.
Is that why your ship is bristling with weapons?
We use our weapons purely for defense.
I see. And would the Federation be willing to defend us?
Starfleet protects all of Federation space, which includes this system. If you wish, your world could even apply for Federation membership.
I don't think the Romulans or Garidians would like that. They both have made claims on this world.
That is unfortunate, but immaterial. Your planet is in Federation space. If you ask for our assistance, we will give it.
That is a noble attitude.
Yeah, don't choose to speak again later.
We have several Garidian refugees aboard. They are seeking to bring the wisdom of the lawgiver's fifth scroll back to Garrod.
Garrod had its chance, and it cast the lawgiver and our ancestors aside. It is too late to mend their relations with us now.
These are reformers, hoping to use the lawgiver's words to improve Garidian society.
That is a cause the lawgiver would have approved. You've given me much to think about, Captain. Allow me a few moments to consider it.
I understand. We will remain in orbit and await your response.
He really does give a response quickly though, considering how much he has to think about. I mean, it's sort of staking his entire planet's future on this decision, in a way.
Sir, we are being hailed.
On screen.
I have decided to trust you. I am Larak, Chancellor of the planet, Phrygus. How did you know we were here?
A Ferengi trader claimed he picked up some Garidian animals here.
Aramut. We started dealing with him to purchase some outside technology, and we gave him some animals in return. Fortunately, we never told him much about ourselves.
How do you manage to conceal your entire planet?
The technology is similar to the Romulan cloaking device. It fools sensors into misreading what they see. We had to protect ourselves in case Garrett's forces came after us.
May I send some of my crew down to learn more about you?
Since our deception is discovered, I suppose there is no harm in letting a small number of off-worlders visit. But there must be no Garidians in the party. They have not yet earned our trust.
I agree to your terms, Chancellor. I shall send my first officer, Commander Riker, as my personal representative.
Good, Captain. It is always gratifying to deal with a man of reason. I will transmit the landing coordinates to your computer.
Thank you. Number one, this is an extremely important first contact situation. I want you to lead the away team. See if you can locate the fifth scroll for our Garidian passengers.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it technically second contact, since they've already had contact with Alamut? Anyway, yeah, if you don't send Will down, Will Riker, and higher difficulties, you can choose who you send. So either if you send Picard down, if Riker's not in the party, then everyone on the planet says we were told to speak to Riker, and they won't talk to you. Anyway, that's about it for this episode. I guess I will see you next time.